everybody, my name is Mr.Cube6 and today we are going to be taking a look at a super awesome redstone contraption. And you know what, I'm just going to show you what it is. Basically we have this ominous lever in this field of sandstone, and if I go ahead and right click it, you might see something pretty interesting happen. A staircase, spiral staircase, including slabs, opens up, folds away from the ground. Like, this contraption is honestly insane, and you can kind of walk down here. And if you go ahead and right-click the lever again, literally everything just closes up. It looks like a completely flat floor until you right-click the lever, and then a spiral staircase just reveals itself. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of issues with this. I mean, there's like holes and stuff, which if that's not your fancy, then, you know, you can go ahead and find another tutorial. But please stick to this one. Once I show you the redstone, I kind of explain why that is, and I'll go into a little bit more detail on how this actually all works. And you know, you can go ahead and access your secret stuff, and these are my music disc collections. You know, I love my music discs. Once you're done checking out your music collection, you can go ahead and head up the staircase once more as a nice spiral staircase. You don't have to like deal with stairs. I mean, who wants to deal with stairs, bro? And then just flick the lever, and as you can see, everything will fold away like nothing ever happened. All right, so here is the piston layout. As you can see, it's pretty complicated. And that's simply because that we have a lot of blocks that we have to move in extremely odd places. All right, so here is all of the redstone, and as you can see, this is what I was saying before. Once you see the redstone, you kind of understand why there are gaps, because this redstone is actually ridiculously small for a contraption of this size. If you go ahead and flick this lever, as you can see, everything will fold in place. And the reason why this is so complicated is you need to get blocks in this location here all the way up into this location, and that's pretty difficult. But there's something called a flush trapdoor, and that is exactly what this is, and it's just modified a little bit. So the Cyan Circuit is a block swap. This is responsible for swapping this sandstone block with this smooth stone slab. The purple circuit is responsible for the first flush trapdoor, and trapdoors are vital for this to actually work, so we need a lot of them. That's why there is a second trapdoor marked in this lime wool circuit, which is responsible for this row of 3 trapdoor pistons area blocks over. Okay, well. All right, so these are all of the items that you're going to be needing in order to build this. Now, obviously, you don't have to have this colored wool. I'm just going to use it to make the tutorial a little bit easier to follow, but you can just use a bunch of whatever block that you want. All right, so this is the staircase that we are going to be building. Just map out this area, and then you can clear out some space around it. You don't need this much space, but I'm just going to be doing it so I can fly around a little bit easier and explain what's going on a little better. Now, first things first, we're going to be doing the piston layout. Now, this is the most important thing when building a redstone contraption, and it's the same thing you saw that I showed at the beginning of the video. We're going to come down to the first slab right here, and we're going to go ahead and place our first sticky piston facing upwards towards that slab, just 1 block away from it. Now, this is the beginning of our block swapper, but now we need to add 2 more pistons. That is a piston just 2 blocks away diagonal from this piston facing towards this slab. And again, another one just around like 2 blocks diagonal from this piston facing where this slab is. Next to this block swapper piston, you can place another sticky piston facing upwards. Then over on this piston, you can go ahead and place another piston directly here, just 1 block away from that piston, and then grab a normal piston and place it right next to this sticky piston. Go around to the back side of your block swapper, just around this area here, and place 1 sticky piston in this location here, and 1 piston like this. Now, this should be a normal piston facing towards this 3rd sandstone block. Find your 2nd slab and place 3 blocks off of this slab. Now, these are going to be temporary blocks. We're going to be removing these in a minute, and break these middle 2. Now, come over here and place a sticky piston right here, and a sticky piston next to it. Then you want to add 2 more sticky pistons just directly underneath these 2 pistons right here and here. Now you can go ahead and destroy this support block. On the bottom 2 pistons that we placed, we want to place 2 more pistons facing upwards to create our first flush trapdoor like this. Now, next to this bottom piston right here, we're going to be also placing another sticky piston right here. Now, the next steps are pretty similar. All you have to do is go from this 3rd slab and place 3 blocks. Now destroy these 2 inner blocks, then come around and place 3 sticky pistons, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And now we're going to be placing 3 more sticky pistons right on top of those sticky pistons, just like this. Now, face down on all of the bottom ones, we're going to be placing sticky pistons facing upwards to create our 2nd flush trapdoor. And that, believe it or not, is our entire piston layout completely finished. So now it is time to go ahead and do the redstone. All right, so we're going to go ahead and begin with the Cyan Circuit, which is the block swappers. So come down to the first pistons that we've ever placed in this tutorial. Find this piston right here. Now we're going to be doing this like weird diagonal shape. To be honest, I have no idea how to explain it, but it looks something like this. Then we're going to add redstone redstone dust on all of these 3 blocks that we placed. Before we go any further, you want to grab a sandstone block and place it on this sticky piston's face like this. Go underneath everything and place another block just right here, diagonal from this piston. It's really difficult to kind of explain, so I'm just going to kind of show you. Hopefully this kind of makes sense. On this block, we're going to be adding a repeater, set it to 2 ticks, just like this. Then we're going to add another block on the back side of this repeater like this. Make sure you hold shift, because if you don't hold shift, you're going to be changing the repeater. So hold shift and then place a block right here, and that will allow you to actually place blocks without changing the ticks of the repeater. Then place another block just diagonal from the block that we just placed, and on the block that we just placed, we're going to be adding a redstone torch like this. Then what we're going to do is we are going to place a redstone torch on this block right here, and then go all the way around and place a redstone torch on this block right here. Then we can go back to the center over here. Then go ahead and find this block right here that has this redstone torch on it, and place another block diagonal to that block, and add a redstone repeater set to 4 ticks. Now we can go ahead and begin the input circuit, which is the gray circuit. All right, so on top of this redstone repeater, we're going to be adding a block, and remember to hold shift when placing blocks on top of repeaters. And now this block will be suspended in midair, and you're also going to place another block on the side of this redstone torch like this. This block, we're going to be adding a lever, and this is the input. Basically, this is going to control everything of the circuit, so you can add a lever on this one. Then in this cubby, we're going to be adding a repeater, set it to 2 ticks. Then what we're going to do is we are going to add a redstone torch on this input block right here. Then we're going to be placing a temporary block just underneath this redstone torch, and place a note block on the side of this temporary block, and now you can remove this block. Then grab a piece of redstone dust and place it on top of it. Grab an observer and place it off of the note block going into this redstone repeater, so that the red side is facing into this redstone repeater. Turn around and place a redstone torch on the side of this note block here. And that, believe it or not, is actually kind of half of the redstone contraption completely finished. So if you go ahead and flick the lever, you should notice that these 2 blocks are now extended, and this slab actually gets pulled out of the way so that these trapdoors can go ahead and get pushed out and push more blocks in these locations. And also, you want to unflick this lever so you can keep the tutorial going. So with the redstone contraption in this state, we can go back down to this redstone torch and begin the purple circuit. All right, so the purple circuit is actually pretty fun, but basically we're going to be adding a block just diagonal to this redstone torch like this. Then we're going to add another block right here, and 2 more blocks right here and here. Then we're going to add 2 more blocks off of the first block that we placed, so 1 right here and 1 right here. And now we're going to go ahead and grab our target blocks and place 3 directly next to one another right here. And now we can add redstone dust on all of these 3 blocks here, connecting into the target blocks, and then 1 redstone dust right here. Now grab 2 redstone repeaters, place 1 right here and here. The first redstone repeater will be set to 3 ticks just like this, and the second one will be set to 2 ticks. On top of both of these redstone repeaters, we're going to be adding 2 observers facing upward, so that again that the red side is facing towards the sky. And on top of these 2 observers, we're going to be adding 2 blocks. Come over to this block here and place 3 more blocks, 1 here, here, and here. Place redstone dust on these 2 blocks here, and a redstone repeater on this block here, set it to 2 ticks. Grab your 4th and final target block and place it next to this repeater, and on top of this target block, we're going to be adding a redstone. Then go ahead and grab 2 observers and place one facing on top of this redstone repeater, and another observer on top of this redstone torch. It can be really tricky to place, but basically this is how it should look. Go ahead and place a redstone dust on this observer right here, and place a block in this gap right here. That is the entire purple circuit done, so we're going to be moving straight on to the lime circuit. So this is controlling the final flush trapdoor that this design actually has. And if you don't know what a flush trapdoor is, this is what a flush trapdoor looks like. All this does is, if you go ahead and flick the lever, as you can see, this block is now in a floor position. As you can see, you're walking over here. But if you want to go ahead and flick the lever again, as you can see, it gets pulled from the floor and now stored inside of the wall. Now we make use of multiple of these in our contraption. That's how they get the floor blocks down into the wall. Although sometimes with our contraption, we have a slab in this location here, and that will actually not work because slabs do not carry redstone signals. It only can be blocks, and so it's pretty tricky because we have to move the slab out of the way and replace it with a block before we can actually use this design, which again, it's pretty complicated. All right, start by placing 3 blocks just like this, 1, 2, 3, and then place 2 more blocks, 1 right here and 1 going up like this, and then finally place 2 more blocks, 1 right here and 1 right here. So it kind of creates this cross pattern, and it kind of goes up like this. Place redstone dust on all of these blocks except for this block, and turn around and place a redstone repeater on this block, set it to 0 ticks, so just leave it like that, and place an observer facing upward so that the red side is again facing towards the sky. Then place 3 more blocks, 1 right here, here, and here, with redstone dust on either side of them like this. Now come come down to this middle area right here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab 2 blocks here and another one right here, and then a diagonal block right here going into this sticky piston, and then grab 2 redstone repeaters, one here and here. You should have something that looks like this. Then the very last and final step is to grab 3 observers and come to this target block right here. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go diagonal to that target block, so in this location here, and you're gonna go ahead and place an observer facing downward. The red side is facing away from the redstone contraption, and then off of this observer we're gonna be placing another observer like this, and then we're gonna be placing another observer facing upwards like this. And then in this cubby where this observer is like showing a little face, like, what's up, dude? How are you? Basically, you're gonna be covering up his face, and he's gonna be really sad, but you're gonna cover up his face like this, and you're gonna set this repeater to 2 ticks, or 3 ticks, so it should look like this. Then the final step is to place a block right here, and the entire contraption should be in working order. If you go ahead and give this lever a flick, as you can see, everything will pop into place, and I haven't added any of the floor blocks, so you just want to add all of the floor blocks on these exposed pistons. Flick the lever again and watch it unfold. Now all it's left to do is kind of create a ring around this area here. Now I'm going to be showing you what blocks you can replace, because some blocks you can't really replace. So you can replace this block obviously with the surrounding blocks, whatever block that is aesthetically pleasing to you. You can place these 2 blocks with blocks, but you cannot place a block in this location here, because if you do, then it will actually ruin. So make sure you have an air block in this location here. Then you can also place a block right here. You can place a block down in this location here. You can place blocks over here and one right here, and then there you go. That is basically where you can place blocks. The only exception is you can't place a block in this location. And now if you go ahead and give this lever a flick, as you can see, everything folds up. Bro, this contraption, oh my god, it's so nice. I kind of want to build this on lifesteal now. But yeah, that's how you build a spiral slab staircase. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this tutorial helpful, then please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more tutorials, and check out my main channel if you haven't already. I have some like more entertaining content than tutorials. If you want to see any other redstone contraptions, and also if you have any comments or questions, then please leave them down in the comments below. I'm not sure if I will get to them, but I might be able to answer your question. So thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.